Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Santa's favorite stop, Rooftop Landing Reindeer Farm of Clare. Come see and pet real reindeer. Visit the gift shop, get your picture taken in Santa's sleigh. Fun for the whole family. 'Tis the season, open weekends now through December 21st. Rooftop Landing Reindeer Farm, Clare. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pole. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pole. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com. On this week's show, we go where few have gone, deep within the secret recesses of Henry and Clara Ford's beloved Fairlane estate in Dearborn, Michigan. In part one, we learn of one Michigan man's passion to put America to work and on the road with affordable transportation, the Ford Model A and Model T. But first, join us on the trail as we saddle up with the Michigan Trail Riders for a special ride across the state in celebration of a milestone. It's all coming up on Michigan Magazine. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, what began as a crazy idea among 9 police officers to purchase the historic Clare City Bakery quickly became an international phenomenon, carrying on a Michigan tradition with delicious donuts, pies, pastries, breads, original coffee, and more, plus a full menu at the new adjacent traffic stop diner. Downtown Clare, a winning combination, Cops and Donuts. Introducing the Weed Gator. For safe and easy aquatic weed removal, the Weed Gator is the #1 alternative to harsh chemicals for getting rid of pond and lake weeds. Safe and effective. See it in action now at weedgator.net. Made in the USA. The equestrian spirit shines brightly throughout Michigan, and Michigan responds with more and more enthusiasts getting involved in making the wilderness of our state equestrian-friendly, thanks in part to the Michigan Trail Riders Association. This past summer, M.T.R.A. celebrated a milestone in the organization's history, 50 years of shore-to-shore riding. That's Lake Huron to Lake Michigan. We joined in the celebration as it kicked off at the Coliseum in Kalkaska, Michigan, June 21st, 2014. As nearly 200 riders gathered for a special parade down Main Street, rodeo fun, and trail rides throughout the state. Trails created and managed in part by the M.T.R.A. and its members. Prior to parade time, M.T.R.A. President Chuck Fanslow expressed enthusiasm for the support and wonderful turnout of riders for this special commemoration.
We're looking great. We got close to 200 horses. It's been great. We got all kinds of people from all over this whole state. Some people from out of the state. We've got people down from the UP. Many organizations. We got different riding groups from all over.
So what is the basic concept of the M.T.R.A.? What do you guys do? Just get together and...
Well, we put on rides that go across the state from shore to shore, Oscoda to Empire. Okay. And we also have another trail system coming down from Mackinac down to Cadillac. Roughly 420 miles of trail, 17 camps. We built them all. We maintain them. And now we work with the parks guys, which are kind of helping us out on the camps. But we have 4 to 5 rides, like I say, per year. Right now we're going across. We have a group going. We have about 120 riders to 140 on the average per day right now. They are going. They travel about 25 to 30 miles per day. And you get up in the morning, you get on your horse, you ride 30 miles, and you do her again the next day.
It's all for the love of the equestrian spirit, then, eh?
There you go.
My goodness. And you're from where?
I'm from Gladwin, actually, right in the middle of the state.
Okay.
Yep.
So this event is quite a bit of a historical event, isn't it? I mean,
It is. 50 years. This was established. Yep, 50 years ago. There's 3 couples that got this thing started. Actually, we have one here today, the last founding member, Phyllis Garn. She's from Traverse City.
We all had horses, and we decided we needed a trail that was just for horses, and it just evolved. We didn't start out going across the state in our ideas, but it didn't take long. We decided it was good. The minute people heard about this trail, they came from every state and every city offering help. It was absolutely fantastic. We got really good coverage with, not TV then, but the papers.
And it just grew out of word
It
of
just
mouth.
grew. Everybody wanted to work. And they're still working. One time we had 500 horses on the trail ride. That was way too many for the camp, so now it never goes beyond 300.
Well, we also owned a ranch, and we were outfitters. You know, we would lease horses out for the trail ride. You know, and
So I was back at the ranch.
Yeah, so people could go 2 days. Some of them could go all the way that didn't have a horse at that time, or had a horse at home and couldn't trailer it to Michigan from Ohio or wherever. And so we would outfit people for the Michigan Trail Riders. You know,
So tell me, Phyllis, what does it feel like to see it come this far and to see all the people just give you
It's a warm, heartwarming thing. I can't believe that there's still this many people actively working on it and making it something. It's really fantastic.
Rider and mount create a special bond, emphasized in rides and trails maintained and promoted by the Michigan Trail Riders Association. Whether it's a leisurely jaunt down the many trails or friendly competition at the Coliseum in Kalkaska, the summer of 2014 celebration will ride on the trails with the Michigan Trail Riders Association and its members as they take on the Manistee Forest Family Ride. Michigan Magazine is being brought to you in part by Hale Hardware, your do-it-center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving Northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale. Shopping for that special person just got easier when you shop at Rose City Drug at 2640 North M33, just south of the Rose City city limits. You'll find gifts for everyone on your list from 1 to 100. Shop online or in person at Rose City Drug, Rose City.
Henry Ford was a national treasure and a Michigan legend, a man ahead of his time. Michigan Magazine over the years has featured some of this Michigander's accomplishments. From his company town of Alberta in the UP to his Dearborn estate, we've come to realize that this is one individual had a dramatic influence on the direction of this state. On this edition of Michigan Magazine, we find ourselves at the historic Henry Ford Fairlane Estate after being invited by a state volunteer and history buff, Dan Brooks, to visit Ford's private home, now a museum during the holidays. Our journey begins shortly before Christmas 2005 as we arrive at the estate to first visit with Frank Gorshik, Curator of Educational and Historical Resources.
Frank, we are right here amongst, some heavy-duty electrical power equipment.
Absolutely.
And we are in the powerhouse of the Henry Ford estate.
Yes, we are.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Give us a little bit of history to this powerhouse. When Henry Ford built it, what was its function? What was its function? As it functioning today, and what is a source of power that runs this generator? Can you give us some background on this?
Sure. Okay. The powerhouse, Mr. Ford had this built in 1913, 1914. The cornerstone was laid on October 28, 1914, by Thomas Edison.
By Thomas? The Thomas
Absolutely.
Edison?
Absolutely.
The light bulb man?
Yes, man.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And that's on the northwest corner of the building.
All right.
And Mr. Ford had a great relationship with Thomas Edison. That was his mentor.
Okay.
And gave a lot of ideas on how to put this powerhouse together as far as the engineering aspect.
Okay.
Mr. Ford wanted to be totally self-sufficient, so this is really one of the major aspects. This is the heart of the powerhouse, the generator room. And it allowed him to have all the conveniences possible because he used the water, diverted from the river, and provided all the electricity.
Okay. This electricity was just to the estate, right? It wasn't to run any factory or anything like that.
No.
This was just for just for the estate.
Absolutely, yes.
But he could power what? If he had
could
to.
power the areas around this building,
Yeah.
the building next to us, the greenhouse, the building to the north of us, which was his residence, and he also used it to power the waterworks building just on the other side of the Michigan Avenue, which provided over 1 million gallons of water per month for the estate.
Wow. Wow. How big of an estate does this set on?
About, at the time when Mr. Ford was here, about 1,300 acres.
Okay. And he's done what with, I mean, now it's considerably smaller.
The portion here, which is University of Michigan, is part of the estate, which was here years ago.
Super. Dan, you're the guy that I've talked with all the time over the last 2 years, and finally gave me a chance to meet Frank, but you're the one that tried to get Barry and I to come down here and to do this story, and finally we're here. And Barry's going to be doing the Santa's Workshop later this afternoon. And but anyhow, if it wasn't for your persistence, we wouldn't be here.
So tough bunch.
Tough bunch. So now we're going to go into the garage, right? This is your favorite thing,
This
right,
is my
Dan?
favorite
All
part
right.
of the power.
Want to show us the way, Frank and Dan?
The upstairs. All right, we're going to see several cars that Mr. Ford actually owned and operated. And one in the center of the room you will be able to identify with. That's the Model T.
Yes.
And here we have in the center of the garage the Model T, which helped make Mr. Ford a success.
Yes. A very success is an understatement. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
Now this is on the ground floor, is it?
This
Yeah,
is
it
the
must
ground
be.
floor.
And this
Street
is
level.
he had this for displaying of his vehicles. Is that what he had?
Yes. The Model T essentially was, or the center of the garage was a turntable area, so when they pulled cars in street level, they could maneuver them around for storage into the bays or to pull back out. But it was also a wash rack, because above where the acorn nuts are, that one time hooked to that was the wash rack, so they could wash, wax, maintenance cars, and maneuver them out if they needed to.
This sold for how much?
Over $800, just over
$800, and this was affordable to the average working person.
Yes,
Could afford it. That was the whole idea of this mass production.
yes.
And today, this would be worth what?
Several $1,000s.
Yeah, you're right. And it was leather, not imitation,
Correct?
real leather. And they call, when you call the Fords the Woodies, this here would be, this was made from wood or soybean.
That would be wood.
This would be wood.
Eventually, he did have soybeans into the structures of the vehicles, anywhere from 2 to 3 bushels of soybeans for dashboards, steering wheel, bumpers, those type of items.
And this is good old hardwood, probably from the UP somewhere.
It's very possible,
Probably.
yes.
Some of that good old bird-eye maple. Okay, here's the very first one. Is that right?
That is the first car that he designed, the quadricycle, back in 1896, over 100 years ago.
I see in the old black and white film, Mr. Ford, and what was his wife's name, Clara?
Clara.
Clara. She was in it with him, driving
Yes.
it around in this estate right here.
Yes.
Would it be right here in the circle here or something?
It would be at the entry of the residence where the Circle Drive is.
Okay. Now what do we have here?
This is a Detroit Electric. Mrs. Ford did drive the Detroit Electric, and it was an easy maneuvering car.
When you say electric,
Electric meaning batteries into the front and back area where they recharge them.
wasn't gasoline operated then?
No.
And today what we are doing is trying to get to this point, I think, somewhere along the line,
Yes.
and we do have that.
Yes.
So Mr. Ford was well ahead of his time in more ways than one.
Sure.
And what do we have over here?
1920 Model T. And this vehicle he continued to improve on, perfect it. He identified this as the Model T laboratory on wheels.
And he wasn't only a builder of cars, but he was a builder of tractors.
Yes.
And this must have been one of the early versions.
Yes.
Ford's son. My goodness.
Very important contribution he made with the tractor. He revolutionized agriculture. He grew up as a farmer. He knew that was labor-intense work, and he really wanted to improve on that for the average person that were involved with farming.
Yeah.
So this really made the change.
Now this one right here is what?
This is the sweepstakes. This is the vehicle, oh, this is a replica, but Mr. Ford did have success in racing this vehicle, the sweepstakes, and this allowed him, because he did win the race, to have financial independence, more so to invest in Ford Motor Company.
So this was the one that really kicked him off as far as being able to get financial backing, you might say, by winning the race.
Yes.
And what race was this in?
This was in 1901.
1901. Well, now we've summed up this little tour here Where else is it you want to take us? You're going to take us to the tunnel now?
Yes, we're going to go downstairs and go through the tunnel. You'll be able to look at all this backup system they had going over to the house, and then we'll go over and look at some features in the residence.
Okay. I'm told that in the tunnel, I think Dan was telling me, or somebody was telling me, that there was a gate put up across there after the Lindbergh kidnapping, and that Mr. Ford had that put in there for safety precautions, security precautions.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look, take a walk down there, okay?
Okay.
I'll follow you.
Now, you see the gate going upstairs. That was a private area. That was his laboratory. And it was secluded so that no one would go up and research anything or find anything that he was involved with in his research.
So that was his room for his mental doing of his whatever he wanted to do.
Yes, and things that were taking place up there, he was redesigning the Fordson tractor, developing a gasoline rail car, and then there was other things such as a replacement for the Model A, which was the X car he was designing, or the Model T. He was trying to find a replacement up there. So it developed into the X car, X engine. That work was all taking place in his private laboratory. Yes.
My Lord. Where was Mr. Henry Ford educated? What kind of a background does he come from?
He was educated in a one-room schoolhouse.
It almost sounds like the Abraham Lincoln story.
Yes. He had a lot of admiration for Abraham Lincoln.
Did he?
Yes.
But his real hero, I guess, was Edison, huh?
Edison was his mentor.
Yeah. All right, now where are we going to go?
We're going to go in the tunnel and step in the area to walk across.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Caution, lower head room. Okay.
Over 300 feet in length.
Wow. This is over 300 foot.
Yes.
This goes from the powerhouse to the estate.
Yes.
And Mr. Ford, that's how he communicated probably? Commuted was between here and there?
The two buildings, yes. Primarily in inclement weather, it'd be an ideal way to come through. Weather was good, I'm sure they would use the outside, walk through the garden.
Yeah.
And what you're noticing when we walk through, there's an incline, we're going uphill.
Yeah.
And we're actually walking under one of her gardens.
Clemick Sales and Service on Mapes Road, west of Mile, your complete recreational vehicle sales and service connection. Visit their beautiful showroom of new and pre-owned ATVs, lawnmowers, power equipment, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, and more. Clemick Sales and Service is also the home of the American-made Victory motorcycle line on display at Clemick's on Mapes Road, Mile.
Vacation. Don't make the planning of it more than what you're trying to get away from. At northernmichigancabinrentals.com, you can choose from over 2,500 cabins, cottages, lodges, resorts, lakefront vacation home rentals, and more. Whatever experience you're looking for, from rustic to luxury and everything in between. No more rustling with telephone books. No more endless internet searches. Just one site with over 2,500 Northern Michigan destinations. northernmichigancabinrentals.com.
Hingeman Acres Canoe Livery and Resort on M33 just north of Mile, catering to the outdoor enthusiasts. Cabins, canoes, kayaks, rafts, and more. Daytime or overnight trips along the world-famous Asaba River. A family getaway for over 75 years. Well, thanks again for making us a part of your day. Time to get back on the road. Lots of new adventures are waiting. We'd like to take this time to thank the wonderful people at those places and events we've discovered it along the way on our new adventures, especially the fine folks at the new Cedar Tavern and Grill in Lupton. Under the new ownership, they brought back to life that historic watering hole and want you to help celebrate. In cooperation with Michigan Magazine, we are giving away 2 $25 lunch or dinner certificates to the Cedar for those who enter our secret word of the day contest for the next couple of weeks. Those entries will be placed in a drawing, winners to be announced here, so listen closely. The secret word of the day is Wolverine. Email that word to us at iwatchmichiganmagazine@gmail.com or send it along via snail mail to Word of the Day, Michigan Magazine, P.O. Box 424, West Branch, Michigan 48661. Good luck. Thanks again for joining us each week here on RFD TV. You know you can stay in touch with us 24/7 on the World Wide Web, on all our social media outlets, including Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. For a complete rundown on our social media outlets, go to MichiganMagazine.com or MichiganMagazineTV.webs.com. Have a great week. I'm Barry Stutzman. We'll see you next week. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare. A winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Experience the beauty, artistry, and taste of Northern Michigan. Come to Amish Country Natural Products on Mount Tom Road, north of Mile, just off M33. From arts and crafts to fresh foods and vegetables, all natural, all local, all good. Stop by and get acquainted with Amish Country Natural Products, 1454 North Mount Tom Road, Mile. Something special's cooking, hot and delicious. Indulge yourself at Morning at Maggie's in Bay City. Omelets, frittatas, hotcakes, and more. Make every day special with a stop at Morning at Maggie's for breakfast or lunch on Saginaw in Bay City. Rose Valley Winery on Beechwood Road in Rose City. See what thousands are raving about, creating a delicious variety of award-winning Michigan wines. Stop by and taste for yourself. The taste of Michigan is yours at Rose Valley Winery.